Do you able to hear my voice?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, Ami, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, good morning. Thank you.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you, sir? Thank you.
Fine. Thank you. So last class, okay, so we have discussed about the concept of architects. So last class, okay. So how is SAP S4HANA? What is the source system? What is an SLT? So we discussed about the architect of SAP S4HANA, Central Finance. Okay. Today, the most important thing is before you do the SLT connectivity, before you do the SLT connectivity to the Central Finance system, we have some source system. Actually, if you take some source system like SAP ECC, okay, SAP ERP, okay, so something like Oracle database, okay, so you have several source systems. There are some settings. There are some nodes has to be get implemented in the source system before you do the actual transaction process in SAP S4HANA. So if I take a source system, this is my source system. Now I log into the source system. And here the most important thing here is actually whenever you go for any source system, make sure that the source system is going to be your ECC. Okay, I'll take out your source system is an ECC system. Okay, just I'll make it as a paint over here, so just it will be easy for you to understand. 1 second, so 1 second. Okay. Okay, so I'm taking the source system as ECC. Very important. This is very important. Now, I'll take an example. Your source system is an SAP ECC. Yeah, Ajay, can you mute your call?
I'm sorry.
Somebody. Yeah. So before I start doing the connectivity of SLT to the source system, there are some SAP nodes has to be get implemented. Very important. This is a very important. We have to make it understand here. What are the nodes actually? So whenever you go for an SAP interview, okay, forget about the certification. Forget about the certification of the Central Finance. But before I go for any real-time scenario, this is very important that any consultant who has been assigned to the Central Finance project, this is the basic thing as the first step. What are all the nodes has to be get implemented in the source system before you go live with SAP S4HANA Central Finance. So here I'm taking the SAP ECC as my source system, where I'm doing the transaction posting from SAP ECC to Central Finance system. Now this is my SAP ECC. Now when I go to the system, this is a source. I'm talking about the source system, not about the target system here. Okay. When I go to the system here, when I go to the status, based on the release, because we came to know that there are several releases have been come from SAP ECC. Okay. So based on the releases we are talking here. Okay. Go for the document. And here, if we go to the component, just come down. Here we need to look out for SAP_fin. Very, please make a note. If you have a pen and paper with you, please make a note. So the component and the releases are going to be very important. We see that the releases have come from the 600, 600. Like there are several releases: 600, 617, 618, okay, 700. Okay, we were able to 748. Okay, there will be so many releases there. But here, my SAP_fin, the release is going to be the 618. Very important. So for 618. 600 will be there, 602 will be there, 603, 604. We see 605. The release have come with SAP ECC. Okay, 606, 616, 617, 618. There are so many releases have come in SAP as a component of SAP_fin. Now, my source system is on SAP ECC with the 6.18, that is the 618. And I see the support pack level with the 008. And this is what exactly my configuration in my SAP ECC. For this, what are the source? What are the SAP nodes I have to be implemented to run my system as a source system? Very important. I'll tell you from the scratch. Means, so I'll talk you from the SAP_fin. I'll make a note here. Very, very important. This all of it, they'll ask you in the interview question also, please. They will ask you in the interview question also. So when your system is on the release of SAP 600, so what are the nodes you have implemented? What is your source system release of SAP ECC? Is it a 600, 601, 602, 603? If it is a 600 or it is a 617 or it is a 618, what source nodes you have been implemented? Please let me know. So then this is the answer you have to tell. So your component should be SAP underscore field, because if this component is not activated, you cannot go with the central finance with the source system. First of all, very, very important, SAP underscore field. Now, I'll come to the release. Very, very important. What release you're working? Yes, you are in SAP ECC. Okay, there is a component called as SAP underscore fin, which is going to be called as a financial. So we have seen so many releases from 600 to till we have so many releases up to these are very, very important, please. Very, very important. Up to 700. Up to 700. Now, if I go back to my SAP ECC system, let understand that now I am working on SAP ECC. Okay, now I came to know the release is going to be the 600 or 601 or 602. What I have to do here? Which node I have to implement? So go this here. I'm talking from the release from 600. Very well. Please make a note. Please make a note. 602. If you release on 602, 603, 603, 604, 605, 606, and after 606 directly SAP has released with 616 actually. Okay. Now go and see which release your source system now. Okay, so after you go and you can see that if your system is on the release of any one of these release versions, then implement the node. There is a called as a node which has to be implemented, which is called as the S node. The S node number is going to be 202. Very, very important. Please make a note. This information you will not get any in the Google or whatever maybe. This is the real-time experience I'm putting, because whichever the project I have worked earlier. So these are the nodes we have implemented. So please make a note of all these things. So which node had to be implemented? 6202 27 411 is the node you have to implement. Okay, next one. If your release is on point number 2, if your release is on next one, so we have done with 617. If your release is on with 617, 618, and directly we came out with 700. Okay. If your release is on 610, so you have to implement the node called as SAP node. Same node 202 7411. So there are some manual activities we have to run for the implementing of this node. So once you have implemented these nodes, very, very important, then come to the SAP. Come to the SAP. See which node you are going to be working. Okay, so which release you are going to be working. Go to SE38. Go to SE38. Okay, press enter. And make sure that you have this program is installed by default. Very, very, please make a note of this program. They will ask you in the interview question actually. What is the program in the source code you have to execute before you run any central finance system? So this is what exactly the program we have to understand. Fin underscore cfin underscore note underscore 2137557. Okay, now click on execute. So you will get this kind of functions. So what it is telling here, execute the given steps one of the other. If an error occur, repeat the same step again until the error is going to be resolved. If does not harm, if the step is executed several times. So even if you are executing for the multiple times, there is no need, there is no harm. Why? Because SAP will never stop you to understand what exactly going on wrong with that. Okay, so no need to worry. Nearly all the pop-ups can be closed by the pressing enter. Now there are 3 steps are there. Step number 1, test run. Check the prerequisites and how the list of the objects without updating them. Okay, so this is the step number 1. So I'm selecting the radio button 1 and execute. So what it is telling that the necessary changes already came with the support package. Very, very important. So what is the support package? The support package which I'm going to be using is nothing but, so if I go into the component, so if I scroll down, so what is the support package? The support package is with 000 gauge. This is what exactly the support package, very, very important. SAP K610181 and SAP Fin. Okay. So with this support package, I can see that already with this support package, already the system is very clearly telling that KY support package, report executed not required anymore. So yes, whatever the support package we are working, this is the latest support package. So what is the SAP is very clearly telling. So you have the latest service SAP support package, no need to execute this particular program. It is already by default, it has come out with SAP ECC with the same support package. Okay, very good. Next, go back. Select the second one, update. Update and activate. Update the objects. So whatever the objects we are going to be working with the connectivity of SAP Central Finance. So we are going to be updating this object and the platform activity. So what I'm going to do, I'm selecting and I'm clicking on execute. Now here also the same information, the necessary changes already came up with the support package. Report execution is not going to be required anymore. So the support package is very, very important here. So without this support package, okay. So if, hey Mahesh, okay, very, very important. Okay, do one thing. Okay, now I am on release with 1670 or 617 or 618 or 78. Okay, let us understand. There is no support package which we are working right now. Okay, if I go into the SAP, understand like this. Here, you're making us to understand with the support package. But what happened if I don't have this support package? Okay, very good question here. So with this support package, you are telling that, okay, this is already, this step is not going to be required. Execution of this particular program is not going to be required. If I'm on the same release 618, but if I don't have this support package, what is the manual correction I have to do? Very, very important. This is very, very important. What is the manual correction I have to do for this? Then SAP is very clearly telling that to implement this node. This node is going to play the major role. Then you have to implement this node 2072741, and you have to create a new package for this. We have to create a new package. Please, I'm writing over here. Okay, create a new package. This is all the technical people will do. No need to worry from the functional side. Because of the knowledge, I'm explaining all those things. Because see, not only you have to be as a functionally strong, you have to be technically strong in SAP S4HANA Central Finance. Very, very important. Most of the customers, most of the projects are going to be dependent as a consultant for both. So you have to be technically and the functionally strong. Because of that, I'm giving all this information. So what you have to do that? You have to implement this SAP nodes. If you don't have the latest support package, you have to implement this node and create a package. Very, very important. You have to create a new package. You have to create a new package. Very, very important. That is already I told that fin underscore C fin underscore. Okay. Very, very important integration. There is a new package. Okay, so this is the new package you have to create. Okay, now let me go and see whether this package is available or not. Because if this particular support pack is not available, whatever the support pack you are going to be talking, if the support pack is not available, then I have to implement this node and I have to create a new package with fin underscore C fin underscore integration. But here in my system, already the support package already available. So no need to create. So this is the program actually. If you see here, this is the program actually. This is the program actually. C fin underscore 2137557. This already, this node has already been implemented. So no need to implement this particular node. No need to implement this particular node because already the support package is already available for me. Now, go to the support pack now. Okay, what is the transaction code I had to use? If I want to go to the support pack, so I had to go to SE38. Please make a note. Go to SE38, or otherwise you can also go because already we have seen the program. So I'll go to SE80 because we are looking out for the support package now. So I'll go to SE80. Please make a note. All these are going to be very, 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 very important. So here there are some options are there. So in this option, you have to select the program. Sorry, you have to select the package, because as I told you that because my SAP source system is working on 618. Already there is the latest support pack is there. So I want to see that support pack. What is the support pack you are looking out for? Fin_cfin_integration is the support pack. If the support pack is not available, then I need to implement that node. Which node you have to implement? 2027411 is the node you have to implement. But already by default it is there. So I'm giving them, okay, this is the support pack. You can see. Fin_cfin_integration. This is the support pack. And what you have to do here is you have to click on display. Yeah. Once you see the display, here you can see that related to the support pack, okay, what are all the objects? Because without the support pack, I cannot do the initial load of the data from the source system to the central finance system. Initial load is nothing but as on today, I want to carry forward the balances. Okay, there is the one step we have to be get executed. So I cannot do the initial load of the balances. So whatever the balances you want to load from the source system to the target system. The target system is nothing but your central finance system. Before you go live, you have to load all the data to the central finance system. If this particular package is not available, I cannot load the data from the source system to the target system. So this package is very, very important for the integration of the source system to the target system for the initial load of the data. Initial load is nothing but the balances from the source system to the target system before you go for the go live. So from here, if I go and see the dictionary objects, so these are the database tables. Already by default it has come. You can see these are the database tables. Okay, so these all are going to be called as the transfer tables from the source system to the target system. Actually, transfer means whatever the data I'm posting in my SAP in the source system, the data will be transferred to the central finance system. If this object is not available, if this particular package is not available, then what is the impact? Then you cannot have the central finance posting from the source system to the target system. Very easily you have to understand that. Now, let me go with one example, transfer table. If I click on the transfer table, so these are going to be the important fields where I'm going to be looking out for. So what are the fields which are getting transferred from the central finance system to the source system to the target system? If I see one table which is going to be called as a cfin_ACCR. Now I can see that these are the various fields I can see. Okay, these fields are by default inbuilt has come with the help of this particular package. If this package is not there, then I cannot have all these kind of fields over here. So there are different fields are there. You can see here. So this is the related to the database table, and views are there. The compatibility views are there, and the structures are there. Structures which helps us to do the transfer of posting. Like this, you can see here. This particular package is going to be installed, and these are the programs which are going to be by default. And this each and every program has come out with SAP Note. You can see here. Each and every program has come out with SAP Notes. So there are several SAP notes have been implemented. So because of this note, I can see that okay. So there are several things have come from the SAP ECC to SAP S4HANA. So this is the most important thing where you need to look out for the package. So how this package has come? This package has come by the implementing of the node 2027411 is the node. So which program? Okay, so if I go to SE38, okay, this is what exactly the program I need to execute. fin_cfin_node_21375557. Why? Because this will create the ABAP report. This particular node will create the ABAP report. So these are the two things. One is make sure that your release on support package should be the latest one. If you don't have the latest server support pack, you have to implement the node and make sure that this program is going to be the default for executing of all the transactions. So here, if I go to the step number 3, I see here the necessary changes already came with the support pack. No need to execute this particular program. Already all the related support packs have come with the necessary. So how to look at the support pack? Which support pack you are talking about? I'm talking about the support pack. If you go to SE980, if you go to SE80, okay, this is what exactly the support pack which I'm going to be looking. CFIN underscore integration. So this is the basic thing. First of all, you have to make sure your SAP central finance system, sorry, your SAP source system has this particular support pack or not. If the support pack is not available, I cannot go with the transfer of posting of the data from the source system to the target system. I can also see this RFC connection between the source system to the target system over here.
So Mahesh, what if you've got a non-ERP system, say a legacy system?
Okay, I'll tell regarding that. Okay, so I'll come in one by one. We are going to be discussing over there. Okay, so first we'll complete this SAP ECC, then we'll go for the non-SAP. But the non-SAP system, there is no need to implement any kind of node because we have to create the staging tables actually. So we have to create the staging tables and the RFC connection. We are not going to be using this RFC connection. RFC connection we are only using with the SAP to the central finance system. But when you come to the non-SAP system, so this support packs and everything is not going to be required because they are not the ERP database. They are not the ERP system. They are the non-ERP system. So even if you try to implement this node, these nodes will not work in the source system. So what we are going to do here is nothing but, so we are creating some staging tables. So through this particular staging tables, I'm going to be transferring the data from the source system to the target system. I'll explain more on that.
Mahesh, just a basic question. So we are implementing this nodes on the where, like on our target system, or?
No, it is on source system. So what I'm looking at, this is the source system, not on the target. Your target system is always will be your SAP CFIN system. That is the central finance, SAP S4HANA system. But here I'm implementing all these nodes in my source system. Source system is nothing but your SAP ECC system.
Okay, so so to make a connection with the SLT, to make a proper connection with the SLT, we have to implement all these nodes. Then only we can transfer all the data to SLT.
Exactly, sir. Exactly. See what is happening here. I know that SAP ECC our own product only, but to transfer the data from your source system to the target system, so your ECC system has to be get implemented with the latest service pack. So there are some obligations are there before you do the posting of actual transfer of posting from the source system to the target system. Because of that, I'm going to be using all this connectivity activities, sir.
Okay, thank you.
And next step number 2. Now, next number. This is the first step, very, very important. And the step number 2. Okay, so have you noted all these things, please, everybody?
Yes.
Anybody has any doubts?
Nope.
Okay. Now, step number 2. This is all the activities I'm doing in my source system, not in the target system. Point number 2. See,
Mahesh, Mahesh, this particular technical thing will have to be done by the basis people, right?
Exactly. You're absolutely right, sir. These all the things, what I'm going to do here is applying of all the notes will be done by your basis consultant, not by you. But as I told you that in the starting of the class, getting the knowledge, you should have all this kind of knowledge. So even if you're not doing this activity, but it is the getting knowledge for you to understand what exactly the things are going to be done in the source system.
So the moral of the story is what you said is that on the ECC system, source system, we have to apply the latest service packs, right?
Exactly. You're absolutely right. So whatever the service packs you have to implement, already I'm telling. Okay, so each and every point I'm giving in a detailed way. So what are all the service packs you have to get implemented in the source system to the target system?
Yeah, and in case if it's not there, we got to implement the latest service pack. If your service pack is not working, so if you don't have the service pack, then as I told you that you have to implement these nodes. Yeah, 27411.
Exactly. You have to implement this node 2027411 is the node you have to implement, and you have to create a new package. This is the new package you have to create here. Because already I told that because I'm working on with the latest service package, this particular package is already available. So if this package is not available, then I cannot do the transfer of posting. So this package is very, very important for me to get the information from the source system to the target system. Okay, now, second point number 2. There is the one note which we are going to be working, point number 2. So I'm just pasting over here. Point number 2. In the point number 2, you are doing the transfer of posting. Okay, so I'm just giving the step number 2 here. Okay, so when an FICO documents, for example, if you see, because when you come to the SAP Central Finance, okay, Central Finance will only take the financial and the controlling data, not the other data. Okay, so other data are like cost objects are going to be replicated, but all the FI and CO postings are going to be updated from the source system to the target system. So before you do any kind of postings of FI and CO, before you do postings of any transaction posting on FI and CO, when an FI and CO document is posted in the sender system, for example, when I take a document which you are posting in a sender system, sender means always you have to keep it as a source system only. Like for example, I take salaries, account, debit to my cash or bank account. Okay, this is what, excuse me. Okay, this is the transaction I'm posting now. Example I'm taking. Hello, sir? Yeah. This is the transaction I'm posting in my source system. Source system is nothing but your sender system. So what SAP has to do, additional data has to be stored temporarily. Additional data means the data, whatever you're doing the posting, the data will go and store in the database. Okay, very good. Normally, any data, you can go and see the data will be stored in the database. Okay, so this is what exactly you call it as a database. Now, this SLT, whatever the SLT you are going to be taking, okay, because SLT is the central, okay, SLT is the middleware which we are going to be using for the posting of the transaction from the source system to the target system. This is what exactly I call it as my SLT. This SLT is getting RFC connected. This SLT is getting integrated to your database, not to your application. As I told you in my previous class also, this SLT is getting interface to your database. Why? Because all the transactional data are getting posted and stored in the database in a form of a table. So there is a RFC connection. This is what exactly I should call it as the RFC connection. This is what exactly I should call it as the RFC connection. So when any FICO documents, you're posting from the sender system. So SAP is very clear that some additional data has to be stored temporarily. Okay, some additional data has to be stored temporarily and sent to the central finance system through the SLT system here. So how do I send the data from the source system through the SLT and from the SLT to the central finance system? So is there any nodes has to be get implemented for that? Yes, very, very important. You have to do some activities. You have to implement one node. The node number is going to be called as 2. This is very, very important node. Okay, 2111634 to transfer the data, to post the data from the source system, from the central finance system, from the sender system to the central finance system. 2111634 is the node you have to implement.
So you have to implement that node on the ECC side to be able to transfer the data from the database of ECC to SLT, correct?
It's very, very, yes. This particular node is going to enable the sender system for the central finance system scenario, sir. So whenever you want to have your sender system, you have to enable your sender system to transport the data from the source system to the target system. For that, I have to implement this node. The node number is 2111634. Okay, all of you?
Yes.
So these are the two nodes, very, very important nodes. Everybody has to be understand. So what is happening here? So once you implement the node, as I told you that a program, a ABAP report is going to be created. So yes, these two nodes are very, very important. So by default, as I told you that in my previous session, that is what in the previous hour I told that. So if you don't have the support package, then you have to implement this node. If you have the support package, if you have the latest one support package, okay, if you have the support package, no need to implement this node. So directly you're going to be having the source system with the target system with all the corrections which we are going to be doing. So these two nodes are very, very important. These two nodes are very, very important for you. One node is going to be 2027411 and another node is going to be 2111634. This particular node is going to enable the data from the source system to the target system.
Mhm.
So once you do these two activities, once you complete these two activities, then what I'm going to do here is nothing but I'm going to set up my SLT process. I'm going to set up my SLT process for the posting of the transaction. And one more important thing here is nothing but, okay, is there any kind of authorizations which has to be get restricted from the source system to the target system? That depends upon the requirement to requirement. Okay, authorizations in the sense is nothing but while you're posting of any data from your source system to the target system, any user has some authorization because one user cannot be posted with all types of transaction. So you are going to be restricting the user with putting of authorization. That authorizations I will do in the sender system, not in the central finance system. Very, very important. In the interview also they will ask the same question. So when there is a Ajay is there, Mahesh is there, Wasim is there. Okay, there are 3 consultants are working in my company. So is there any process of putting the authorization to these 3 consultants to post the data? For example, if you take a Rahul, you are supposed to be posting only the incoming payments, not the outgoing payments. Ajay, you have to be only user for the authorization for the posting of outgoing payments, not for the incoming payments. Okay, exactly. So is this the same thing I need to be get authorized in the central finance system? No, central finance system, we are not putting any kind of authorizations because central finance is only the system which will receive the data from the source system to the target system. But if you want to do any kind of authorization, that authorizations I will put in the source system in the SAP ECC, not in the central finance system.
So Mahesh, I have a quick question here. So
Yes, sir.
This means the user which is in the central finance, like authorized user, that person can see all the data.
Yes, very good. Okay, see, whenever I do any kind of posting, sir, for example, let us take an example. Now I am posting. So you're the same account, salaries account, debitor to cash or bank account credit. So Mahesh is posting this data from the source system to the target system. Now, once the data has got posted, okay, now if I go and open the document in my database, I can see what is the document has got posted in the central finance. Easily I can understand whether the document has posted or it has stopped in the error correction, or is it something has happened at the SLT level whether the document has not been posted to the central finance system. I can have the full information about all this kind of process. Yes, you will have the view whether the central document has got posted or not.
Okay, I see. Thank you.
Mahesh, why do I have to put a restriction on the ECC side, the source side, that you can post the incoming payments, AJ has to put outgoing payments? Why can't I do both?
Exactly, sir. Sir, if we go for any company, see, all the users have not given all the authorizations, sir. Okay, so it is just like before also, because as I told you that the central finance system is only replicating the data from your source system. Okay, we are not going to have any kind of authorizations or the restrictions in the central finance system. Why? Because as I told you that it will only receive the data, but
Okay.
when you come to my ECC system, users are posting the transactions in the ECC, not in the central finance, no, sir. So
I
for that,
understand.
I'm having all this kind of authorizations of the transactions based on the user level.
Yeah, so basically what you're saying, the authorizations have to reside on the ECC system and there is no authorization on the central finance because...
No, because that is what I'm telling. Because if I put the authorizations in the central finance system, okay, because there is no user level, no users are not posting any transaction directly in the central finance. So I'm not creating those users in the central finance system. I will create the users in only in the source system and I put the authorizations and the restrictions over here.
Yeah, that's very important question.
That is where I'm telling that these are going to be the basic things we have to understand, because see, sometimes, because see, as a consultant, it is very, very important that is there any authorizations I have to make at the center finance system? No, nothing is going to be required. Only the source system, because you are receiving the data from the source system to the target system. Now, if I go to SE11, there is the one program, actually, please make a note of this particular program. Okay, so already I'm picking, okay, cfin underscore source underscore set. Please make a note. This table is very, very important actually. This is the source table where the set of all the transactions are going to be maintained as a looping point. See, this is the table actually. So this is what exactly the table. So with the help of the node, I can see that, okay, setting for the central finance in the source system. Please make a note of this particular table. This table is very, very important for us. So what this table is going to do? This table is going to do the initial transfer, initial load of the data from the source system to the target system. Okay, now I'll go to the, okay, now I'll go to the new transaction. Oh, I'm here. Sorry. I had to go to the central finance system. Sorry. My dear friends, I'm telling you, this is a very, very important. All things are going to be very, very important. You will not get this information in anywhere. Okay, you are looking out for the data. Please, very, very important. These all are going to be the very, very important. Now, if I go to the central finance, so there is a concept called as central finance source system, and because this is not the practical, just I'm going to be showing the some important information, not the practicals, please, just to make you to understand. Because whenever I start the practicals, I'll go into the detailed way. This is only the table information. Why this table has to get activated? So, for example, there is a one table which we are going to be looking. This is what exactly. Where is the table here? Yeah. Okay, so why this importance of this particular table? Okay, I'm making you to understand about this table. What is the purpose of this table? What is the importance of this table here? Okay, the importance of the table is going to be initial load of the data. Now, tomorrow I'm going for a go live. Before you go for the go live, some data, the initial load has to be done to the central finance system. Okay, so to load the data, to do all these things, okay, now there is some program, some table has to be created with the help of the program. This table is containing of all these fields. Now I'll go to that particular program with the table. Okay, so I'll go to the central finance, general replication settings. This activity I'm doing in the source system. See here, I'm not doing the target system because the initial load has to done from the source system to the target system. So I'm doing this activity in the source system, not in the target system. General replication settings. Okay. So if I take a company code RK02, so if I take a company code which is going to be called as RK02, now let me come to other point also. See here. This is the source system. In the source system, there is a company code where we are going. This is see, EPX is nothing but your SAP ECC system. EPX is nothing but your SAP ECC system. So in the SAP ECC system, you have a company code which is going to be called as RK02. RK02, that is REK, okay, Cermix Private Limited, whatever may be. Okay. Now there is only one company code in the source system. Now from tomorrow onwards, I am going for a go live. Okay, now I'm taking this company code and I'm giving the data, I'm giving the dates, and I'll go to the document list. Again, I'll give the same dates. This I'm seeing in the source system, not in the target system. RK0. Now you can see here, there are 3 transactions have been posted in the source system. Before you posted, okay, before you done this transaction in the source system, have you done the initial balance upload? Yes, very, very important. Initial balance upload is nothing but, now here you can see this is my central finance system. DV2 is nothing but my central finance system. It is not a source system. Now,
Mahesh, before you go for, I'm a little bit lost. Can you just go back and repeat what you said? I'm a little bit lost. Go back
okay,
into.
no, I'll tell you, sir, I'll tell you. Now, let me get like this. Yeah, let me get like this. This is your central finance system. Yeah, like this. This is what exactly the central finance system. This is your SAP S4HANA system. Now, what I'm going to do, whatever the company codes you have in the source system, okay, like for example, okay, I have one company code RK02 is the company code. Okay. So now as on today, before you go for the go live, now if I come to my target system, this is what exactly my target system. So here, this is what exactly my target system. If I go to my target system, for example, I'll open a new session. This is target system. It is not a source system, please. See, RK02. So I'm seeing this RK02 company code both in the source system and in the target system, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Can somebody tell me why, sir? Why? Why you are able to see the same company code in the source system and the target system?
You have to configure RK02 in central finance.
Exactly. What happens if I'm not going to? What happens if I'm not going to do this configuration in the central finance system?
You will have nothing but rejections here. I mean,
exactly, sir.
Yeah, the thing of it is, Mahesh, you have to define all the organizational structures within central finance. Okay.
Exactly. You are absolutely right. Correct. So if I have three more company codes, for example, RK02, I have the RK03, and I have the RK04. All these three company codes, you are doing the transaction posting in the source system. Make sure that all these three company codes are also available in the target system also.
A question, very important question to ask you. Sorry to stop you here. Is there I mean, rather than doing a manual configuration, is there a way I could extract the configuration for all the structures out of ECC and transport this back upload that into central finance? Is there a possibility?
No, sir. No. See, in the central finance system, as I told you that there is no development, no quality, and no such a process. Only you have one system, which is going to be called as a live production system. So whatever the basic, as I told you in my earlier class also, the master data is going to be the basic in the central finance system. Master data means if you go for a RK02 company code in the source system, already this RK02 is a live company code where I'm doing lot many transactions from 3-4 years back. Okay, this company code I'm going to be using, and I've done a lot many transactions. Now, when I'm using the central finance system, make sure that you have to do the basic configuration of RK02. The same company code has to be created in the central finance system with all the basic master data, means GL master data, vendor master data, customer master data, asset master data, controlling master data. So all the master data has to be created. This is the first basic priority thing where you have to do this configuration in SAP S4HANA. Once this company code is available in the central finance system, then only I can do the transaction posting from the source system to the target system. If this RK02 is not available in the in the target system, then the transactions cannot be mapped. Means SLT is going to do all this mapping of the transaction, company code to company code, fiscal year to fiscal year, customer account to customer account. It is going to map all in SLT. So this mapping is going to fail in the SLT, and the documents cannot be replicated to your SAP S4HANA because the company code is not available.
So the moral of the story here is that all the organizational structure master data has to be manually configured in Central
In
Finance.
SAP S4HANA. Exactly.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. You're right.
You cannot import it. I mean, that's
No, 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 no.
okay. Because if you could import it somehow or the other, then the effort will be greatly reduced. But there's no.
That's what I said. That is what exactly. See here, when I told here, when I'm asking you to see here, see for example, now this is the source system, sir. EPX is nothing but your source system. In the
Yeah.
EPX, I see the company code RK02. If this RK02 is not available, if this RK202 is not configured, okay, if I go to the basic settings now, okay, I'm in the DV2. DV2 is nothing but your central finance system. For example, SPRO, IMG. If I go to my financial accounting global settings, if I go to the global parameters,
And define company code.
yes. So if this company code is not available, what happens? Then there is no mapping between the source system to the target system. Means your source system is, sorry, your target system is not properly configured. Whatever the company code data you're replicating from the source system to the target system there. You saw there will be no transactions are getting posted.
So the chart of account, for example, all the accounts and cost centers and all that has to be replicated, or has to be.
Just like a project, sir. Yes, just like an implementation project, how you are doing the configuration, same thing, the implementation project wise, you have to do the configuration in the center finance.
Mahesh, a quick question. So right now we are creating all the company codes, master data from ECC to S4HANA to
Okay,
replicate. And
no. All the master data, I'm doing the configuration in the target system, in the central finance system.
yes. Oh, so for example, on the other side, if you have a S4HANA system already, so right
In
now
the
on the
other
source,
side, okay.
yeah.
In the other side, you're talking about it if S4HANA system is already available. Okay, right. Right. Okay, sir.
So in that case, what happens?
So what you're telling here is you're telling that, okay, you're talking from the source system point of view or you're talking from the target system point of view, sir?
So, okay, I think the whole purpose for central finance was that we can take data from ECC, non-ECC system. So for example, if company has some S4HANA system, some ECC and some non-ECC. So our source is also S4HANA.
Oh, very good.
So,
okay. Yes, very good.
So in that case, what we have to do in central finance at that point of time?
Okay. So you're talking from the source system point of view. Okay. So for example, sir, okay. Now you are already live went with the SAP S4HANA with the central finance. Example, I'll take like that. Okay. ECC system, non-SAP ECC system, and you went the live with the central finance. And later on, after 1 year, you acquired a new company. Okay, like some XXS company you acquired. That particular company has already been implemented with SAP S4HANA, sir. Example, we'll take like that. Okay. Now, that company I have acquired, but already they are using SAP S4HANA. Now, that SAP S4HANA landscape will become as a source system, which is not a target system, because now what I'm going to do, I'm doing the postings in the SAP S4HANA because already I'm acquiring this company. Already a lot of transactions have been posted earlier, that's before the acquisition. Now this whatever the system I have with this acquisition company, this SAP S4HANA system, this will be acting as a source system, not as a target system, because already I have a target system of SAP S4HANA. So in this case, I'll tell you like this. In this case, okay, now I'll remove. Now this is your ECC system. Now, again, I acquired a new company. This new company is already having the SAP S4HANA.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, Mahesh, those two notes have to be applied there too? Or you were saying that two notes need to be applied.
100%, sir. Any system, any source system of SAP ECC has to be, sir, we are talking about these nodes. I'm right? You're talking about these nodes.
Yeah.
No, these nodes are not going to be required. These nodes are only to the ECC system, not to the SAP S4HANA system.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I have the second system, sir. Now, these two are going to be the source system. So, one is the SAP ECC and the second one is SAP S4HANA. Already you went live with SAP S4HANA Central Finance System. Later on, after 1 year, you are acquiring a company. That acquiring company has already been implemented with SAP S4HANA system. Now, what I'm going to do here is nothing but now your SAP S4HANA system is also getting the source system like this. Very, very important. So this cannot be your target system. This is your always will be a source system. Why? Because tomorrow, whatever the transactions I'm posting, the transactions you are not directly posting in SAP S4HANA. So it is getting replicated from other SAP S4HANA system to your central finance system like this.
Okay, so yeah, Mahesh, you are saying that anyway, even if you have a S4HANA system in SLT, it will replicate the transaction, and then again in central finance,
Exactly,
you can see all
sir.
the transactions.
Exactly. Always make sure that your target system, whatever the target system you are going to be using, there should be only one target system, sir. Your source systems can be many source system, but your target system is only SAP S4HANA system, which is mainly used for central reporting purpose.
Okay, I see. Yeah, it's
So-
just that there's no node needed here because you already have S4HANA.
Yeah,
So there's no node required, as in the earlier case.
Nothing. Because I am already using the latest version of SAP S4HANA. No need to implement those particular nodes. Those particular nodes are only required when I am going to be using SAP ECC with this particular
release.
releases.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, makes sense.
so Mahesh, the moral of the story is whether it's ECC, non-ECC, or S4HANA, doesn't matter. They're all considered source systems, and in
Exactly,
case you
sir.
have in case if you have a S4HANA system as a source system, you cannot use that system and as a target system. You have to have a
Exactly,
separate.
you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And one more thing, sir, I'll add to your point. One more point I need to add over here. See, as an SAP S4HANA Central Finance Consultant, let us think, you are all a SAP S4 Central Finance Consultant. You are not going to do any kind of manual activity in the source system, sir. Nothing. In the source system, you have to see whether these nodes have been implemented or not. That is only the activity we have, as a finance consultant, I'm going to do. So all the activity will be done in the central finance, not in the source system. The source system is only replicating the data. That replicating of the data, how it is getting replicated, mapping, everything will be done by technical consultant, not by you. Your only activity is nothing but you have to do the central finance configuration and make sure that the mapping has been, technical specs have been properly given to your technical people so that they have done the proper mapping between the source system to the target system.
Hey, how much time, between the functional consultant and
6
and the
months,
technical?
5 to 6 months.
No. If I have, is it 50% of the effort is done by technical consultants and 50% by functional? What is that ratio in terms of?
The ratio will be, see, sir, here there will be going to be acting different consultant. It is not an ABAPer, it is not an basis, or it is not an FICO consultant. When you come to the functional point, the functional part is going to be up to 50 to 60%, and the technical part will be going up to the 40%.
Yeah, 60-40 rule.
Yes.
So it means
because why I'm telling here is nothing but, you are the consultant, okay? You are going to be called as a finance consultant. You have to do this implementation in the central finance project before you do the replicating of the data. So your duty is going to be the more in the central finance, because you have to develop all the master, just like how you are doing in the implementation project. The same way I have to do this configuration. Without doing this configuration in the central finance system, I cannot do the mapping of SLT, and I cannot do the mapping of your source system to the target system.
So my question to you, based on your experience with the projects that you have worked on,
yes, sir.
say I've got 10 legacy systems, which could be S4HANA, could be ECC, could be non-SAP. Do I need one resource then from the technical side to put in my estimates 40% of the time for 6 months, or I need?
No, it depends upon the number of source systems. Because see, what experience I have faced with one of the Australian project is nothing but they have only the 4 source systems actually. All the 4 systems, 3 systems are SAP ECC, and another system is something they are using something quantum. Quantum is something like ACS system. We call it as the ACS system they are using. So they have only the 4 source systems and 1 target system. For this, we have taken up to 5 to 6 months for the go live.
So how many technical resources you had
We have two functional resources, and when coming to the basis point of view, we have taken the 2 bases and 3 ABAPers.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, 2 bases and 3 ABAPers.
Exactly.
And how many functional consultants? 2?
Two finance consultants.
So 5, so that's about 80% being the basis and the technical people.
So it is going to be the basis and the technical people, sir.
So the ratio between functional and basis and technical is about 1:4, 1 to.
That's what, okay. Because functional people are going to have the major impact, okay, rather than the technical.
But these basis people, the 2 technical people are assigned full-time or part of the time?
Full-time, sir, full-time. Till the goal live, they should be assigned. Why? Because they are going to do all these RFC connections and everything.
And all the MDG mapping and all
exactly,
that stuff.
Exactly.
So you are saying they will perform 2 set of activities. One is the setting up, looking at setting up.
Yeah, understand. This we'll discuss offline, so no need to worry. Okay, I'll discuss offline with you. Personally,
Yeah, okay.
I'll have a call with you. Okay, don't worry.
All right,
Okay,
good.
tomorrow we'll see the part of SLT and okay, we'll see the configurations in SAP S4HANA tomorrow. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, good deal. Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.